Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2016 Pennsylvania 400 at Pocono Raceway Race Review, where I recap what went on before the race, during the race, and after the race, looking ahead to the upcoming race. This will be a shorter version because my school just started today, as in me posting this video. Also, because the race got postponed from Sunday to Monday, I just think I can't afford to spend a lot of time making the usual video because that obviously takes longer. So you're getting this version again. I'm sorry if you don't like that. I will hopefully go back to making the usual version next week, and I'll walk into the end. So, overall thoughts on this race. Weird race, I think, is a good way to describe it, but it was also one of my favorite races of the season. It had a lot, even though it did get shortened due to rain. We had so many different strategies. We had a variety of faces up front. You know, this was not one man's show. And you really did not know who was really going to win the race because there were so many different drivers that took turns up front. Martin Truex Jr. at the beginning, Joe Logano, Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon was very strong. It looked like Kyle Busch could have won his first race at Pocono. But, and the racing was also pretty good. And I think what helped. I think one thing that made the racing so good was the fact that because rain was in the area, everyone had the mindset of, okay, we need to race as hard as we can early because it will likely be rain shortened. For example, we had a really good battle between Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon around the midway point of the race that actually almost resulted in a crash. So simply just some good stuff at Pocono. And when it all ended, just before the cycle of green flag pit stops ended, Chris Buescher was leading. Then all of a sudden, the fog came in and completely covered the racetrack. It was tough to see pretty much like any part of the racetrack because that's how thick and heavy the fog was. And because severe weather was on the way, tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, I think is also. And not having enough delay in the track to get the track dry and finish the final 22 laps of the race. There was called, and Chris Buescher wins his first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race. And even though this was definitely not like a hard fought win. A win is a win, and really just sitting here, even though okay, I'm making this video 6 hours after the race was called. I still kind of can't believe it. Chris Buescher, a winner this season in the equipment that he's in, driving for Bob Jenkins, who's the owner of Front Row Motorsports. This is the team's second career win. They won it a couple years ago with David Wiggin at Talladega, which that one was also driving the 34 car. Yeah, I really just can't believe it. Who would have thought that Chris Buescher would get his first career win before Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The five drivers that I just mentioned, they've all been looked at least in some point of their career as up and coming talent. And yeah, here comes Chris Buescher getting this win pretty much out of nowhere. I mean, actually, early in the race, they had to make an unscheduled pit stop because as he was trying to avoid a wreck, he made contact with someone else, and he had to pit for a big tire rub. And actually, that caused him to get off sequence with almost every other leader, and they could have blended in with everyone else. But they decided, you know what, let's stay out as long as possible until our fuel runs out, and maybe before we run out of fuel, the rain will come. Well, it wasn't rain, it was fog. And it turned out to be the winning call. And now Chris Buescher, he's not into the top 30 points yet. But he is just 6 points away from making the top 30. So we could very well be looking at Chris Buescher making the chase. And I had mixed feelings about that. But hey, this is the rules that they were presented with. They're just playing by the rules, and if they make the chase, they certainly have done a great job of making it. It'll be interesting to see if Chris Buescher can be consistent enough. I think he has the potential to, because over the past month he's actually put together some really solid runs. Like I remember at Kentucky he had a good like top 15, top 20 car. Unfortunately got caught in a wreck. And then last week at Indianapolis he scored his best finish at the time, 14th. So honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they could click off more top 15, top 20 runs. Yeah, and also let's not forget this driver. Regan Smith finishes in third place, driving for Tommy Baldwin Jr. in the 7 car. Gets the second top 10 of the year, first top 5 of the year. I think it's also his first top 5 in his first top 5 since 2012. What race was that? In 2012 Talladega Fall Race. So a good finish for Regan Smith, who happened to be on the same strategy as Chris Buescher. Yeah, and yeah, so that's really what I have to say about the overall thoughts on the race. And I guess there are a couple of news stories that I would like to tell you. The even lower downforce package is returning to Michigan in August. Stewart-Haas Racing is going to the Xfinity Series. They're going to field a full-time driver next year. Danny Stockman replaced Justin Alexander at Palmer as crew chief, and they actually showed speed in practice and qualifying. And if Menard didn't have a transmission problem, who knows? They could have gone top 5, top 10. They had good speed. NASCAR released the 2017 start times, and most of its races are now starting closer to prime time. I don't think this is a good idea, especially for tracks that don't have lights, like Pocono, Michigan. They're going to get like 3 p.m. Eastern start time. So now, if we just have a little bit of rain, it's likely going to postpone the race, and that's going to have and that's going to be it's going to cause a big negative result in like attendance and ratings. So I'm not really for next year's start times. And also, I don't have this in my notes, but Furniture Racing might go to a second team next year, and it will likely be Eric Jones. As I move into the looking ahead to the upcoming race part, so going back to what I said earlier, Chris Buescher now has a pretty good chance at making the chase, and that would really, just really shake up the chase picture again, because now it forces more drivers into a must-win situation. And guess what? We're heading to Watkins Glen next week, which is another track that could really give us another surprise winner, like AJ Allmendinger, for example. And that would further shake up the chase grid. So next week's going to be interesting. Also, road course racing. Watkins Glen has put on some of the best races over the past few years. So I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen. And hopefully we can see a good strategy race at Watkins Glen. And much like Pocono, hopefully we can see a race where we have a variety of different drivers running up front. That would be nice. Who knows if it will actually happen? It's not easy to exactly pick a winner at Watkins Glen, because Watkins Glen races or races at road courses periods can be wild cards. And let's see who can get one, who can snipe one out of the bag. I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go back with Kevin Harvick. I'm gonna go with Kevin Harvick. He came close to win this race if he just had a couple more gallons of fuel. And I just kind of feel like things are getting better for Kevin Harvick in the 4 team. I know a couple months ago they didn't exactly show like winning car speed, but they've been doing that over the past month. They had a winning car at Pocono, good runs at Loudon in Indianapolis. They had a winning car today. I think Kevin Harvick would have likely had won the race if the fog and rain didn't come back to the track. And I think Kevin Harvick will finally get his second win of the season at the Glen. So that's really all I got to say in this race review. Yeah, so thank y'all for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and bye.